Hello, everyone. Welcome to Learn English podcast.
3 daily habits to change your life forever. Learn English through motivational speech.
When I was young, I used to believe that one big opportunity would change my life forever. I thought maybe one day I would meet the right person. Maybe one day I would find the right job. Or maybe one day luck would knock on my door. But as time passed, I realized something very important. Life does not change because of one lucky chance. Life changes because of what you do every single day. Many people want success, but they are waiting for the right time, waiting for money, waiting for motivation. But the truth is, if you keep waiting, you will keep losing. Success is not about waiting, it is about creating. And how do you create? By building habits that push you forward every single day. Let me tell you, talent is good, habits are better. You can be very smart, but if you don't have discipline, you will lose to someone who is average but consistent. You can have big dreams, but if you don't take small actions daily, those dreams will stay only in your head. Success is like fitness. You cannot go to the gym for one day and expect muscles. But if you go every day, even for 20 minutes, in 1 year, you will see results. That is the power of habits. I know many young people who ask me, how can I change my life? How can I be successful? And I always tell them, stop thinking too much about tomorrow. Start improving your today. Today you create good habits, tomorrow will take care of itself. Habits are very interesting. At the beginning, they feel very small. Waking up early, reading for 30 minutes, focusing on your goals, reflecting at night. It feels like nothing is happening. But after 1 month, 2 months, 1 year, suddenly you realize you have become a different person. People around you will ask, how did you do it? And you will know it was not one big miracle, it was 3 simple habits you followed every day. My friends, success is not a mystery. It is not something only for lucky people. It is a formula. If you want to change your life forever, you must follow the formula. And this formula is built on 3 daily habits. These 3 habits look simple, but they are powerful. They will give you discipline, they will give you focus, and they will give you wisdom. So, if you really want to change your life, stop waiting for tomorrow. Start today, because your future is built by what you do daily. In the next part, I will share with you the 3 daily habits that will transform your life completely. If you understand them and if you practice them, your life will never be the same again. When we talk about success, many people imagine something big, something magical, something that happens all at once. They think one big decision, one big opportunity, or one lucky break is what will change their life. But life does not work like that. Success is never about one single moment. Success is built slowly, quietly, and consistently through the power of small daily habits. If you look at the people who have achieved greatness, you will see that it was not one giant leap that brought them where they are. It was the thousands of small steps they took every single day. The problem is that most people ignore small habits because they don't see immediate results. If you go to the gym today and exercise for 1 hour, you will not suddenly see muscles tomorrow. If you read one book tonight, you will not become wise the next morning. If you save a small amount of money today, you will not become rich by next week. Because results of small habits are invisible in the beginning, people get impatient. They say, it's not working, so they stop. But those who keep going, who keep repeating those small steps day after day, are the ones who eventually see the transformation. Think of water dripping on a rock. One drop of water does nothing to the rock. But if water keeps dripping in the same place for years, even the hardest rock will change its shape. Habits are exactly the same. One action may feel meaningless, but repetition makes it powerful. That is why small habits matter more than big intentions. Big dreams without daily habits are just fantasies. But small habits repeated with discipline, can turn impossible dreams into reality. When I was younger, I saw many talented people who were smarter than me, more skilled than me, but they did not have discipline. They would work hard for a few days and then stop. They would start new things with excitement but quit when results did not come quickly. And because of this, they wasted their potential. On the other hand, I saw people with very ordinary skills but they had strong habits. They woke up early. They worked every day. They kept learning. They stayed consistent. Slowly, step by step, they became successful. That is when I realized talent is good, but habits are better. The biggest advantage of small daily habits is that they compound. Compounding means the effect grows bigger over time, just like interest in a bank account. If you save a little money every day, in 1 month it looks small. In 1 year it looks bigger, and in 10 years it becomes huge. In the same way, if you invest time in small habits like reading daily, practicing your skills, taking care of your health, they look small in the beginning, but over time they become massive advantages. The difference between someone who has been learning 1 hour a day for 10 years and someone who did nothing is not one step. It is a huge mountain. But here is the truth. Most people don't like small habits. They are boring. They don't give excitement. People like shortcuts. They want fast results. That is why they give up too soon. But those who have the patience to repeat small habits daily, even when nobody is watching, are the ones who reach heights that others only dream of. Habits don't ask you to be perfect. They only ask you to be consistent. Even if you do a little bit every day, the results will be bigger than you imagine. Look at successful entrepreneurs, athletes, artists, or leaders. Their secret is not that they do extraordinary things once in a while. Their secret is that they do ordinary things every day without fail. Waking up early, practicing their craft, exercising discipline, learning new things. These are small habits, but they have built extraordinary lives. The real power is not in one big push, but in small pushes repeated every day. If you truly want to change your life, don't focus only on the big picture. Break it down into small daily habits. Ask yourself, what can I do today that will make my tomorrow better? Can I spend 30 minutes improving my skills? Can I write down my goals every morning? Can I spend 10 minutes reflecting at night? These are small actions, but if you do them daily, they will build a foundation for your future. So the power of small daily habits is that they are accessible to everyone. You don't need to be rich. You don't need to be a genius. You don't need to have connections. You just need discipline. Every person has the same 24 hours. The question is, how do you use yours? If you waste them on distractions, your life will remain the same. If you invest them in small habits, your life will change completely. Remember, these habits build your future silently. You may not see the results today, but one day you will wake up and realize your small steps have created a big transformation. And people will look at you and say, "You are lucky." But you will know it was not luck, it was habits. If I ask you what separates those who dream from those who achieve, I will tell you it is not intelligence, not talent, not luck. It is discipline. Discipline is the foundation of growth. Without discipline, even the best ideas remain just ideas. Without discipline, even the biggest opportunities will slip through your hands. And without discipline, success will never stay with you because success is not an event. It is a lifestyle that requires consistency. When I was younger, I saw many talented people who were smarter than me, more skilled than me, but they did not have discipline. They would work hard for a few days and then stop. They would start new things with excitement but quit when results did not come quickly. And because of this, they wasted their potential. On the other hand, I saw people with very ordinary skills, but they had strong habits. They woke up early. They worked every day. They kept learning. They stayed consistent. Slowly, step by step, they became successful. That is when I realized talent is good, but habits are better.
They could not focus on one thing for long. They could not control their emotions or their distractions. They wanted results, but they did not want the hard work that comes before results. And that is why their potential never became reality. Discipline is like the foundation of a building. If you want to build a tall skyscraper, first dig deep and create a strong foundation. Nobody sees the foundation, it is invisible. But if the foundation is weak, the building will collapse no matter how beautiful it looks on the outside. In the same way, discipline is not always visible to others. People may not see the hours you wake up early, the sacrifices you make, or the temptations you resist. But these invisible acts of discipline are what make your growth possible. Without them, you cannot stand tall when challenges come. Let me tell you something important. It is temporary, but discipline is permanent. Motivation is like a spark. It gives you energy for a short time. Maybe you watch a motivational video, listen to an inspiring speech, and suddenly you feel powerful. But after 1 day, 2 days, that feeling disappears. Discipline is different. Discipline means you show up even when you don't feel like it. Discipline means you work when you are tired, when you are not in the mood, when nobody is watching. That is why discipline is more powerful than motivation. Motivation gets you started, but discipline keeps you going. Discipline is also about self-control. If you cannot control your habits, your emotions, your time, then someone else will control them for you. Many people fail not because they don't have dreams, but because they cannot control their distractions. They spend hours on social media, on useless gossip, on things that don't build their future. Then they say, I don't have time. But the truth is they lost their time because they had no discipline. A person with discipline controls his time instead of being controlled by it. Growth in life is never comfortable. If you want to grow, you must go beyond your comfort zone. And this is where discipline plays the most important role. Discipline pushes you to wake up early when you want to sleep. Discipline forces you to practice when you feel lazy. Discipline makes you keep going when you want to quit. Without discipline, you will always choose comfort, and comfort kills growth. With discipline, you choose progress over comfort, and that is how you grow. Let me give you an example. Imagine two people who both want to learn English. The first person studies for 2 days, then skips for a week, then studies again when he feels like it. The second person studies every day for just 30 minutes without fail. After 1 month, they both look the same. But after 1 year, disciplined person speaks fluently while the other is still struggling. This is the difference discipline makes. It turns small actions into big results. Discipline also builds character. When you keep promises to yourself, you start respecting yourself more. You develop trust in your own ability. You stop doubting whether you can achieve something because you know you have the discipline to stay consistent. And people around you notice it too. They start trusting you because they see you as someone who follows through, someone who does what he says. This reputation of discipline becomes your strength in business, in relationships, and in life. Some people say discipline is hard. Yes, it is. Waking up early is hard. Saying no to distractions is hard. Working when you are tired is hard. But not having discipline is even harder. Struggling financially is hard. Regretting wasted years is hard. Living without achieving your potential is hard. So in life you must choose your heart. Discipline is hard, but it leads to growth and to success. Lack of discipline is also hard, but it leads to failure, regret, and frustration. Which one do you want? My friends, remember this. Success is not about doing great things once in a while. It is about doing simple things consistently every day. And that requires discipline. If you want to grow in your career, in your business, in your life, build discipline first. It is the foundation that supports everything else. With discipline, even average people achieve greatness. Without discipline, even talented people waste their lives. So build your discipline. Practice it every day. Because discipline is the bridge between your dreams and your reality. If you cross that bridge, you will find growth and success waiting on the other side. One of the biggest mistakes people make in life is that they think too short term. They want results today, they want success tomorrow, and they want comfort immediately. But true success does not work that way. If you want to build something meaningful, something that lasts, you must learn to think long term. The mindset of long-term vision is what separates those who achieve extraordinary things from those who remain ordinary. When I started my journey, I realized that most people quit too early. They expect results too fast. They start a project and after a few months, they say it's not working. They begin learning a skill and after a few weeks they get frustrated. They want everything quickly, but life rewards those who can see beyond today. Those who can sacrifice short-term comfort for long-term gain. If you want success, you must stop asking how fast will I see results and start asking what will I achieve in 5 years, 10 years, 20 years if I keep going. Long-term vision is about patience. Think of a farmer. When he plants seeds, he does not expect fruits the next morning. He knows it will take months of care, watering and protection before the plants give him anything. But many people in life act like impatient farmers. They plant seeds today and dig them out tomorrow because they cannot wait. That is why they never see results. Long-term vision means trusting the process, believing that your efforts will pay off even if the results are not immediate. Another important part of long-term vision is learning to accept failure as part of the journey. If you only think short-term, failure feels like the end. But if you think long-term, failure is just a step, just a lesson. Every mistake becomes part of your growth. When I faced rejection in the early days, if I had thought short-term, I would have quit. But I believed in the long term. I knew these rejections were temporary, but my vision was permanent. That is why I kept going. Most young people today want shortcuts. They want to start a business and become rich in 1 year. They want to learn a skill and master it in 1 month. They want respect and success without paying the price. But shortcuts never build strong foundations. Long-term vision requires consistency, and consistency requires patience. You may not be the fastest, but if you don't quit, you will be the one who lasts. And in life, the one who lasts is the one who wins. Long-term vision also changes the way you make decisions. If you think only about today, you choose comfort. You eat unhealthy food because it feels good now. You waste time because it entertains you now. You avoid hard work because it feels painful now. But if you think long-term, you choose discipline. You eat healthy because you see your future health. You use your time wisely because you see your future growth. You work hard today because you see the reward tomorrow. Long-term vision makes you wiser in your daily choices. Look at successful companies. They are not built in 1 year. They are built over decades with long-term vision guiding every step. Look at successful leaders. They don't make decisions based on what is easy now. They think about the future, about sustainability, about what will last. This is why long-term thinkers always rise above short-term thinkers.
But let me also tell you, long-term vision is not easy. It means you must endure difficulties without seeing immediate rewards. It means you must trust yourself when others doubt you. It means you must stay focused while others are distracted. People may laugh at you in the short term, but if you hold your vision, one day, those same people will admire you. Long-term vision is also about believing in the future, even when the present is difficult. Many times in life, things will not go your way. You will face problems, failures, and disappointments. If you only see the short term, you will give up. But if you see the long term, you will realize these difficulties are only temporary. They are part of the journey, not the end of it. This belief gives you strength to keep moving. So, if you want to achieve something great, ask yourself, where do I want to be 10 years from now? What kind of person do I want to become? What legacy do I want to leave? Once you answer these questions, build your daily habits around that vision. Every small step you take should bring you closer to that future. Even if it feels small today, in 10 years, it will look huge. My friends, never underestimate the power of long-term vision. It is the mindset that turns ordinary people into extraordinary leaders. It is what helps you stay strong when others quit. It is what gives meaning to your sacrifices today. If you can think beyond today, if you can sacrifice short-term comfort for long-term gain, there is nothing you cannot achieve. Remember, this success is not about winning fast. It is about lasting long. The one who can see far will always go further. Build your long-term vision, commit to it, and let it guide every step of your journey. Your future will thank you for the patience, discipline, and vision you practice today. At the start, building habits always feels like hard work. You have to push yourself, remind yourself, and sometimes even fight with yourself. Waking up early feels heavy. Reading daily feels boring, and staying disciplined feels restrictive. But the real power of habits begins when they stop feeling like tasks and start becoming your lifestyle. When habits become part of your identity, you no longer need to think, decide, or struggle. You simply live them. That is when transformation becomes permanent. People fail because they treat habits as short-term projects. They start exercising for a few weeks, then stop. They begin saving money, then give up. They commit to reading or learning, then abandon it when they get busy. Why? Because in their mind, the habit was never meant to stay. It was something temporary. But real success requires permanence. A habit should not be a visitor in your life. It should become a resident. Once habits sink deep enough to become lifestyle, success becomes natural. Think about it like this. Brushing your teeth. Nobody debates every morning whether they should brush or not. You just do it. It is part of your life. In the same way, if you can make waking up early, practicing your skills, exercising discipline, or focusing on learning part of your daily lifestyle, then success will not feel forced. It will feel natural. When I was young, I struggled with many things. I wanted to build habits, but I was not consistent. Every time I started something, I would push hard for a few weeks, then stop. It took me years to understand that habits are not about results. They are about identity. If you only do something for results, you will quit once you get tired or once results take too long. But if you do something because it is who you are, you will never stop. For example, if you say, I want to read books to pass an exam, you may quit after the exam. But if you say, I am a person who learns every day, then reading becomes part of your life forever. That is the difference between habit and lifestyle. Habit is what you do, lifestyle is who you are. Success happens when your habits cross the bridge into lifestyle. This also explains why many people lose progress after success. Someone works hard to lose weight, achieves the result, and then stops exercising. Slowly, they return to the old version of themselves. Someone saves money for a goal and then goes back to spending carelessly. Someone learns skills to get a job, gets hired, and then stops learning. They treated habits as tools, not as lifestyle. That is why their success could not stay. If you want permanent results, you must build permanent habits. Turning habits into lifestyle also saves you energy. At the beginning, making decisions is difficult. Every morning you debate, should I wake up or sleep? I study or relax? Should I exercise or skip?
That debate drains your energy. But once the habit becomes lifestyle, there is no debate. You simply do it. And because you no longer waste energy deciding, you can use that energy to grow, create, and innovate. Another powerful thing happens when habits become lifestyle. They create identity. People start recognizing you for those habits. If you are always disciplined, people call you reliable. If you are always learning, people call you wise. If you are always focused, people trust you with responsibilities. Slowly, your habits build not only your results, but also your reputation. And reputation is one of the strongest currencies in life. But let me tell you honestly, turning habits into lifestyle is not easy. It takes patience and consistency. Research says it can take weeks or even months before a new habit becomes automatic. Most people quit in this uncomfortable period because they expect quick transformation. But if you push through, one day you will realize it has become natural. Waking up early no longer feels like punishment. It feels normal. Reading daily no longer feels like effort. It feels like breathing. That is when you know your lifestyle has changed. The beauty of making habits your lifestyle is that growth becomes automatic. You don't need constant motivation because the system takes over. You don't need to fight with yourself daily because the decision is already made. You don't even need to show the world because your consistency speaks louder than your words. When habits become lifestyle, you are not pretending to be successful. You are living success every single day. My friends, this is the ultimate level of transformation. Don't just build habits, let them build you. Don't just practice discipline, become discipline. Don't just chase growth, live growth. Once your positive habits become your lifestyle, success is no longer a question of if, it is only a question of when. And that is the true power of turning habits into lifestyle. My friends, remember this. Success is not built in one day, and it is not destroyed in one day. It is built by the small things you do consistently, and it is destroyed by the small things you ignore. Habits are the real architects of your future. Discipline is the foundation. Long-term vision is the guide. And when habits become lifestyle, success follows you naturally. Do not wait for tomorrow. Do not wait for luck. Do not wait for someone to come and change your life. Start today. Build your mornings with discipline. Protect your focus. Reflect at night and repeat it every day. One day you will look back and realize that these simple daily habits have created a life beyond your imagination.